Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, we saw the volatility again, really at magnitudes that a lot of traders still are not familiar with because we had that lull in that month of August, that lull in July, and now you're starting to see everything pick up here. We saw early this morning the S&P futures and NASDAQ futures push up right after the opening around 10 o'clock. And then we got absolutely kabooshed. And then we ricocheted up off the buy divergences off the 30 and 60-minute time frame. But the telltale today was the 60-minute time frame on the QQQs and the spiders. When we pushed up today, I said, when we pushed up to new highs, S&Ps around the 66.85. NASDAQ futures were trading above the 24,790, almost 24,800. What happened? Kabooshed! I said the 60-minute time frames are going to roll over. You're overbought. And not only that, but you got overbought into a negative MACD on the 60-minute. And you're pushing up on new highs into a negative MACD. You had two, not one, but two monster sell divergences. And boy, oh boy, look out below. It was Christmas in November. We saw the likes of Tesla reversing the sell on the 60-minute time frame. And then we got the big bounce on Tesla on the 15 and 30-minute time frame. After the 60s reversed the sell, what do you look to do? You short that bounce. Tesla 408 down to 401. We saw Apple today reverse. We saw, first of all, Apple on the opening was an absolute Picasso. When you see this pattern, and people took this short. Okay, I couldn't click fast enough to get short. Okay, when Apple pushed up to new highs, okay, the MACDs on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame did not confirm. And look out below, Apple within a blink dropped 3, then 4, then 5. Apple today absolutely kabooshed from the highs. Around the around the 272, 270 and a half, 270.80 level. Apple at one point down 4 off that high. All right, so what you saw here today was a combination of a lot of factors here. We're seeing that the market looks like there's rotation. Now tomorrow night, Wednesday night after the bell, we have Nvidia's earnings. And that could be a telltale sign here. I think they're going to miss. I think the stock is acting off the highs. Nvidia, I think, hit the high of over 200 and something at one point. Now it's down over 20 points. Again, it was very clear that you saw this big drop when a big investor unloaded all his Nvidia position, was reported a few days ago. Gold today, big buy reversals on the 30-minute time frames. Really great pullback on the 15. Gold rallied about 25.30 off that 30-minute buy reversal when the 15 got oversold. So let me go over and show you a lot of great patterns here today. First of all, this is the push up here. Okay, we got the bounce here early. You can see here, this is the first bounce right here. At 10:30, the spiders open 662, pushed up to 664, and dropped. Oh my God! Look at that, 90 points on the S&P. Got absolutely kabooshed right there. And then the trade of the day was right here between the 2 and 215, 230 time period. You're making new highs. I kept on saying monster bear flag on the 60-minute time frame. Beautiful bear flag on the 30 as well. Now the 30 and the 15-minute time frames reversed the buy. Okay. However, I knew that the lows would be in. However, when I got this first sell divergence, the overbought condition into the negative MACD, that's sell divergence number one. You can see the yellow dots the yellow dots are nowhere looking like they're going to try to reverse the buy here, like you can see here. So the first pattern is the 60-minute time frame getting overbought into the negative MACD. The ADX is rising. You got the big selling pressure, negative 20. And then the next pattern on the sell divergence, you're making new highs, and the MACDs are still negative. Okay, what are you, crazy? Unbelievable short. Unbelievable short. So with that being said, I want to show people this is what stopped the market from going up today. An absolute Picasso, monster short, and this is the title of the show. If you look at Apple today here, Apple, what lunatic is buying Apple? You can see here at 10 o'clock, 2.7. I couldn't short this Apple fast enough. I couldn't even get my hands ready to short it when I saw this pattern. But a lot of my people, we called the short above the 270.30 up to 271.50. The high was 270.71. Again, you're pushing up to new highs. The MACDs on the 60 are negative. The MACDs aren't confirming the highs on the 60. You can see here on the 30, the new high, the MACDs non-confirmation. Here, these are absolute Picassos. This is an absolute Picasso here. So again, you see patterns like this is why I say when I walk in every morning, I look and see the underlying ETFs or individual stocks, how they look on the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame. Well, I saw that this morning. I'm like, Apple's going to gap up. This is a monster short. Okay, absolutely. We had Microsoft up over, down over 3% today here. You can see the 30-minute time frame, monster bear flag right here. You see the ADXs are rising. This is a monster short right here, 494, dropped about 7. Microsoft, I love when they do this here, 495, and at the end of the day, the 30s, the first bounce on the 30. But if you look here on Microsoft, you can see the 15s. This is the first bounce here on the overbought into the negative MACD, the second bounce here, and then the third bounce here again. Now, the 15s reversing the buy. Well, there's with that being said, 85% chance that the lows are in for the day, and that's exactly what happened. Great patterns, great shorts in Microsoft. Also, MSTR, monster day in MSTR. Really sold off at the end of the day, though. You can see here when MSTR was trading the 212 level, you can see MSTR, the MACDs are negative. But when MSTR reversed to buy here on the 30-minute, the 60-minute also reversed to buy. And what do you look to do? Well, you take the first pull back on the 15 below 207.5, and there's the push up, monster long here. Here's another long. Okay, the push up into the negative MACD, MSTR, absolutely kabooshed at the end of the day. But again, great pattern on MSTR. You can see the 60-minute time frame reversing to buy right here. Again, Bitcoin, this stock used to be $450. So, but again, we saw the markets move in such a way that gave you the ability to understand that MSTR was probably just deeply oversold here. And if you look at the daily, you can see MSTR right here, beyond oversold, got down to the 189, just had a little blip up here, rallied about 24 off the low. Okay, all right. Also, let's look at Netflix today. Netflix, great patterns in Netflix. Netflix, after the split, is now a great trading stock, actually. You can see here, this is Netflix here on the 15-minute reversing to buy right here, and then the 30-minute reversing to buy right here on the 30-minute. Look at that, beautiful reverses to buy here on the 30-minute. So now you're in a buy disconnect. And then the 60-minute reverses the buy around 3:30. And then what do you look to do? You buy the first pullback on the 15. But even in the buy disconnect, you could take the pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame. So first of all, after the 30 reverses to buy, you can see the pullback here on the on the bull flag. Here's another pullback here. You can see the oversold condition here on Netflix below the 212.5, and you can see the rally, boom, right back up. Never look back here. You can see Netflix just exploded. Again, when the 60-minute reverses the buy right here, okay, the 60 reverses the buy at 130. You look for pullbacks. Here's the pullback one here around 3 o'clock. I mean, it didn't 14, ran about 70 cents here. But again, if you want to look at the 5-minute time frame, the strategy is you look to buy pullbacks on the 5-minute after the 60 reverses the buy. So all the pullbacks were very, very strong on Netflix. Great pattern there. Let's look at the gold, the GLDs here today. Now, gold had a real big problem here. Gold also had a 60-minute time frame. You're pushing up here, right? Gold pushed up here, and you can see how gold pushed up into the negative MACD. So we did call that short. But once the 30-minute reversed to buy, and it correlated with the 15-minute time frame, the strategy is to do what? You buy the pullback. Look at this pullback. It happens so sharply right here. Kaboom, right here. You can see here 11.15. The GLDs got down to 371.62. And you can see gold rallying almost $26, $27. This is an absolute Picasso, okay? Absolute great trades there on the gold, especially knowing that the GLDs, okay, are still negative. So even in the buy disconnect, you can see that pullback was so powerful into the positive MACD on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. Great pattern there. All right. Palantir, negative on both the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. What do you look to do? You short, even if the 15s reverse the buy, you take the short on the. Here's the first short right here. Is this it? This is the opening. This is today. This is the first bounce here on the 15. And then here's the second bounce on the 15, 172. It rallied sharply off the lows, about 7. But again, because the 30-minute time frames and the 60s are still negative, what do you look to do? You short the first bounce on the 15, and then the second bounce here on the 30-minute time frame. 172.83, you can see the drop of about 5 points. A really great short there on PLTR. All right. Again, we saw weakness in the tech sector. AMD down over 12, down over 5, almost 5% here today. You know, remember the rah-rah and everything. Plus, Amazon got absolutely kabooshed here today with the service, with the internet being down. Look at Amazon here. You can see Amazon. Every great short off the 15s. Here's one. Here's two. At the end of the day, Amazon 226.50 got absolutely kabooshed. So again, these patterns were really powerful today, especially on the 15 and the 30-minute time frames. And we're going to see what happens for tomorrow. So when I get back, I'll explain what I'm expecting for tomorrow. We did get some buy reversals on the 30-minute time frames on the underlying ETFs, on the Qs and the spiders. However, these 60-minute time frames are starting to roll over, and I'm going to show you this, okay? So even if we do get a push down tomorrow, followed with an oversold condition on the 30 and or the 60-minute time frame, I say you look to buy them, because the buy divergences on the MACDs on the 30-minute time frame should, and I say should, okay, act as a shock absorber. So if you look at the spiders here, you can see the 60s are starting to turn down here. You can see the damage when the 60 started heading lower. You can see the significant drop from here to here. You're talking 150 points on the S&P. So this still has some downside. However, with these MACDs positive on the 30-minute time frames, I think there's a good chance that if we do get to a deep oversold condition on the 30-minute time frames and on the 60s, I say you look to buy them, okay? Remember, I told you there were a bunch of gaps all the way down to 5,100 on the S&P. I'm not calling for that now, but there's a good chance that 6,250 and 6,000 could hit. Okay, now, we're into November. We only got about 6 weeks left to the end of the year, okay? However, Where's the Santa Claus rally? We had it from 4,800 to 6,900, but doesn't mean. But I still think the market's going to be up for the year. But how much up for the year? If we decline and you get those gaps filled at 6,000, now again, Nvidia could have blowout earnings tomorrow, and we're back up to 6,850, 6,900. Okay, and then we're gonna have to wait for 2026 for those gaps to get filled. But let's just see what happens. The stock's not acting right. People are unloading the stock. Somebody knows something. So I say look out below. We'll see. So that's what I expect for tomorrow. All right. When I get back, I want to tell you about the rules of trading. Like I said, there are rules in the courtroom. There's rules when you drive. There's rules in a restaurant. There's rules in a doctor's office. There's rules in a library. There's rules that we live by. And there's no difference when you're trading. There has to be rules. Rule number 1, discipline. You have to have stop orders in. 2, no revenge trading, right? Rule number 3, you want to be consistent. Learn. Patience. Learn first. Rule number 4, you want to be able to put the time in so you could be great, not good. Rule number 5, you want to be able to really enhance your trading by learning with a mentor, being part of a community, and being part of an organization that you feel like the community is helping you. I don't like people. I think even when I was trading, I had Ernie and I had Anthony with me, and we were trading together. To trade alone, kind of, but our community makes it fun. Again, there are rules to trading, and the rules are important. You can't deviate from them. And I think that's where most people get in trouble, when they don't follow the rules of trading. So keep an eye on that, and that is really important message here. Talked to so many people in the last few days, and they're telling me this, they're telling me that. I'm like, well, you're breaking every rule possible. You're not bigger than the market. You shouldn't be taking a position without looking at charts at 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the morning. You're gambling just because the NASDAQ is down. You think it's going to bounce, but it can drop another 300. That's exactly what happened to someone. And then it rallied, and they lost a small amount compared to what they were down. However, there are rules to the game, and so try to stick to the rules, and that's what I teach every day here at SKTrading.live. I beat it into you like a dead horse. These rules cannot be broken, or else you will fail, and it will destroy you. And trading can be fun. Is trading hard? Yes, but we try to make it simple. We try to make it where you understand, and more so, we make it where I hope that you're all consistent, and that's all I ask for each and every day. I see my community of traders. I see what they make here. I see what they do, and that's all that matters to me. With that being said, thank you for joining me tonight on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a comment. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you like to watch me tonight, I'll be on my SK Trading YouTube. Also on my Fund the Futures YouTube, where I'm hosting the Asian session from 8 to 10. We cover trade ideas in gold, index futures, S&P and NASDAQ, and sometimes oil. Also, it's important, if you like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on my cell phone number, 914-500-7484. I'm also offering a 5-day free trial, so text me and I'll send you the link for the 5-day free trial. Also, if you'd like to join my community of traders, please go to my website, sktrading.live. Have a great night, everybody. I got to get ready for my live stream here at 8 o'clock. God bless you, and most of all, God bless the United States of America. Good tonight.